G'day, Simon here, Explosive Action. We are back for another mini metal shopping trip. Going back to the same shops I did last week. Check out what new things are on offer, so let's get into it. So as is usual by now, we're on the train going into the city. But as I worked out when I got my halfway point, the trains have been replaced with buses. And boy, was I really excited to be on a bus. I hate them. But we made it to Egg Records, which was the first stop of the day, to check out more of those CDs that had been kept aside for me to take a look at. And take a look at the quantity here. Such a varied amount of metal CDs in these boxes. A whole bunch of stuff I already had. But it was really cool to see all this collection come in from one guy, and I managed to get a few gems. But on the wall, this is what really interested me. That return, or you might see it come back. Into Repressed Records now to pick up my order. And on the wall we have the Disattack EP of Bomb Drops. Very cool. That's an early Bill Steer band. Some new releases. We'll take a quick thumb through. They got the K-Ocean demo comp reissue back in stock, which is just brutal as hell. Not too sure who Dungeon Hammer are. This Vacuous is the reason I came into the shop today. So that one's coming home with me for sure. Thrall is another new release. The Corpse Cess Succumb to Rot, fantastic album. The Sedimentum, amazing, I showed that in my recent update. Faceless Burial Speciation, great album. So is Golgothan Remains, Adorned in Ruin. This Diabolizer, I think not many people talk about, is a really good album. And this Hyperdontia, a great band. Swamp Beast, Galvanizer, another amazing band. Some Undergang, reissues are in stock. Engulfed EP, really good this one. More Faceless Burial, that's one of the earlier EPs, and more Undergang, probably their best album. Phrenolith, amazing band. And the Anatomia Undergang split, just filth. More K-Ocean, the new album, which is fantastic. Gorophilia and Ataraxy, great albums. This one though, I'm not too sure who this band is. And Flesh Rot, one of the best releases of the year. Astroferus and the new Faceless Burial on the Wall. Such a good album I've been listening to digitally. I can't pick this copy up today as the band has sent me a copy in the post. And then I saw that these markets were on. This is the Hub Markets in Newtown. Never been in there before. Lots of really cool posters and knickknacks for sale. So I went and had a bit of a look around. Saw more posters, some really good stuff. I didn't get prices, but some were very interesting. That Code of Silence nearly came home with me, as did the Fist of Vengeance and King Boxer. Some cool books for sale as well. Lots of old paperbacks. Big box of VHS. Some interesting titles in there. But then on to Papa Disco, where I decided to go back and pick up the Ossian album. It was just calling me. As was this refreshing ale. So as you may have guessed, a very successful shopping trip. Some real gems in here. Got 3 CDs we'll start taking a look at from the top. Some good stuff in those boxes. Plenty of things I already had, just like last time, but it was really good to get a look into the stock before it was on the shelves. Picked out 3 things. Nothing amazing, but all pretty good. This is Death Symbolic. Yes, I actually don't have any Death past Human. I was never a huge fan of individual thought patterns. I think it was the bass sound on that thing. It was quite pronounced and it really put me off. So I don't know. I remember listening to it 20 years ago and then just forgetting about it. Didn't go back to it until recently. Not too sure what I think about that one still. But then I saw Symbolic. Now, again, I haven't really listened to this one in a long time, but I do know this is quite a good one. It does have, what's the song on it? Crystal Mountain, which is at least a track that I do like. So I'm going to go in and try this album again. Now, I am admittedly more of a fan of earlier Death, and I really like Human. I don't know, after that point, Sound of Perseverance, geez, that's not a good one. That really isn't that good. And this is getting close to the end of the career as well. So look, I will listen to Symbolic, I will see where it resonates with me, but look, for the price I paid, which we'll get to, I'm pretty happy. And it is the old, I've still got the old cash converter sticker on here, I've taken off. It's the old Roadrunner press, which is pretty difficult to find, 1995. There you go. So I know I make it sound like I hate this thing, but it's just like, look, I'm just not that familiar, well versed with modern era death. When I'm saying modern era, this is from 1995. You know what I mean? Stuff post-human. I need to give it some more time. 25 years has not been enough time, so we'll see where we get to with Symbolic. This one, I really liked the first two albums from this band, and I figured that was all I was going to ever bother with. That's the only two I ever saw around, any ones that people ever talked about. So it didn't even occur to me that they actually had more music than that, and they did. This is in fact their fourth album, and Marty Worm, you're going to be very, very, very proud of me for this one. This is Scanner. With their Ball of the Damned album. I think this is from 1997. It's quite long, like quite later. Yeah, I think it's from 97, or is that just the reissue time? I don't know, it's definitely 90s. Maybe it's a little earlier than that, I'm not too sure. But it does say 97 on the back here. Really dug the artwork on that one, really cool. I've only given this a very short spin as well, haven't given it a proper listen. It sounds a bit more polished and refined, leaning a bit more into that Euro power metal sound than the sort of speedy metal power metal sound they had at the start. So we'll see how we go with this one. But again, for the price, I wasn't leaving it there. Old Massacre Records release. Nice booklet and disc in there. So yeah, more Scanner. And there you go. Just take a nice look at that. I'll take it out of the case. You can see it better. This cover is really quite nice. So there you go. Nice artwork on that one, worth looking at. So yeah, Scanner with Ball of the Damned, and yeah, we'll see what this one's like. Very nice. This next one, I was really surprised flicking through those boxes, and I pulled this one out. I'm like, oh yes, some Slayer, yeah, okay, I would prefer it on LP, but you know, there's a CD here, so why not? And oh, would you look at that cover? I picked up Live Undead, and it has Haunting the Chapel EP. So this is the old Metal Blade press, but you might know something different about this cover. The damn thing is fully signed, and as best as I can make out, that's all the four members of the band as of the time. I've done some looking up on the old Google. I'll take this out. Search for the signatures of the band, and they all do seem to match. So that's a pretty cool little keepsake there. Really happy with that. Obviously, you know, the EP is great, the live album is great, very early stuff. The booklet folds out one side, and then there's the Haunting the Chapel on the other side. This is the Metal Blades Thrust being the local sub-label of Shock Music back in the 90s. This is their version, so there is the disc, Metal Blade with the Thrust logo on it. So yeah, this would have come out in, does it have anything on here? It doesn't say. It'll be something like 93 or something along those lines, maybe a little earlier. But those signatures, completely stoked, and I actually did not have any version of Live Undead or Haunting the Chapel on any physical format. So that's really cool to have anyway. There you go, Slayer. Onto the vinyl pickups now, and as I said in the video, I did not buy this in the shop because it was waiting for me when I got home, and that is the new Faceless Burial at the foothills of Derelation. This is top 10 of the year. This is likely top 5 of the year. It could be the number 1 death metal album of the year for me. It's pretty damn amazing. I've been playing this one digitally for about a week, and the band locally, well, Melbourne, they posted the copies themselves. This is from MSUO and Dark Descent, and I've just played the record itself just the once so far. It sounds fantastic, but they have outdone themselves this time round. Their third full length, and there's an EP between album 1 and 2. This is so much better than Speciation from 2 years ago. I can't even begin to, like, the gap between the skills of the band 2 years ago and now, it's just amazing. Musically, this is fantastic. The production is exactly what it needs to be. It is a perfect sounding death metal album. The drummer, Max, the drummer on this, God, all his jazz skills and his non-metal training. He's such a good drummer. The guitars are fantastic. The vocals are right on point. It's so good. I could rave about it for ages, and I'm not really even saying much. And there's the back of it there. Nothing very exciting there on the back. They've just... They started off being quite an old school death metal band, worshipy kind of thing. It's just black vinyl. I don't know why I'm showing it, but you know, at this point they've been really listening to modern gore guts quite a lot. I guess bands like Horrendous. I hear a lot of that sound in here. It's just chops and chains. It is all over the shop. There's the guys looking very blood incantation-y. It's not even a bad example either. I mean, these guys are supporting Blood Incantation and Dead Congregation in Sydney in 2 weeks. I will be there. It will be amazing. What a lineup. Love the blue and the pink on there, the hot pink and the cyan. It's like the printer failed or something. Absolutely amazing. Fantastic artwork. Yeah, just such a good album. Holy Christ. Faceless Burial. I was expecting to think this is a great album, but it's floored me, right? It completely floored me. It has leaps and bounds improved over Speciation, which itself has improved over the EP and the first album. The difference between the first album and this third album, it's a different band. Faceless Burial at the foothills of Deleration. So good. What the hell is a Deleration anyway? Amazing. And the other new thing I picked up, this is why I went into Repressed Records, was to pick up my order for the new Vacuous. This is a brand new band, or a relatively new band. They've done like a demo or something, but this is their full-length band. It's called Vacuous. The album is called Dreams of Dysphoria. So good. This is a punishingly heavy sounding thing. Big, booming, thick, heavy sound. It is not muddy. It is not sludge pits of hell stuff. This is just... It almost has like a death doom sound to it. It's such a big, epic sounding album. It's fast, it's slow, it's not reinventing too many things here. I mean, it is, you know, fans of many modern bands of the last 4 or 5 years in the death metal sphere, you're going to like this kind of thing. I don't like to use the word cavernous or anything like that, but the bands in that realm, you know, your Grave Miasma and that kind of thing. There's no reason. Vastum. I mean, the logo even almost reminds me of Vastum. You like stuff like that, you're gonna like this Vacuous. They're out of London. There's the back of it, also an MSUO. Very simple, black and white. I really like that cover art though. I'm not too sure who did it. Really good. That Faceless Burial, if I did mention, Seagrave artwork. They've got Seagrave on their artwork. That tells you where they're at. Anyway, enough about Faceless Burial. Vacuous. LP itself, it's just another black one. Nothing exciting to show you there. There's the labels. And inside as well, we get a little slip. There's the band. It's a 5-piece, twin guitars. Is just amazing. Joe Chen on vocals there. It's got session bass apparently on this one. There you go. So the bassist in the photo is not the bassist on the album, I think is what we're trying to say there. Otherwise we've got multiple bassists. Not too sure. And there's the lyrics. It's fantastic. Such a really good debut. What I really liked too, and I was not expecting, I think it was the track Matriarchal Blood. I think it was that one. I'm going along, I'm listening to the thing, and then the drums slow down and just get banging and heavy, and then I'm like, is that a cowbell? Dunk, dunk, dunk. It's a friggin' cowbell. There's cowbell in Death Doom. Amazing. They need more cowbell. So there you go. Vacuous. Really good debut. I've never heard the demos or the EPs before it. This was to tell you how this one worked out. I didn't know this was even coming out. This one's a bit of a quiet release compared to something like the Faceless Burial. Or the things like I showed you also in this video that I got a couple of updates ago, like the Flesh Rot and Sedimentum. Like, they've had praise and lots of people talking about them. Yeah, Vacuous, not so much conversation, at least at this point. But Repressed Records posted on Facebook, hey, we got some new death metal. I looked at it and went, that looks awesome. Add to cart, pick it up from the shop. That kind of marketing that worked on me, I guess. So there you go. Vacuous, Dreams of Dysphoria. Really, really good album. I'm going to enjoy playing more of that. And yeah, so then I went to Puppet Disco, and well, I picked up what I said I was going to pick up, the Ossian. I'm not going to try and say anything about that. It's a Hungarian band. I was corrected in my last video. I assumed it was Russian, but you know, it's Soviet Hungary. You can forgive me there, and all that writing in there kind of looked Russian to me. But anyway, it's not. Hungarian band, and there is the amazing photos on the back there. There is Fonzie doing his A, but yeah, again, I can't even try to say their names. This is Galantai, this is Palvolgi, this is Marothi, and this is Paxi. I've butchered everything there. I'm just going to stop embarrassing myself. But look at that, just so much bloody blue denim on here. It's just Canadian tuxedos all over the place. Absolutely amazing. 1988 this is, and it's just straight up heavy metal from Hungary. And it feels about 5 years too late. Like this kind of thing should come out in something like 83 or 4. But I suppose that's just part of the era. Like it's late 80s Hungary. They've possibly just been listening to Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and maybe not much else. I don't know what that market was like back then, or what was allowed to be bought. I have no idea. I really don't know. But it's really good. It's fun. It's just straight up heavy metal. It occasionally gets a little bit of its time, a little bit goofy. Sometimes the singer is beyond his skill set, perhaps, but he's certainly giving it a go. Production's fine enough. The drums, you could almost convince me that they're like an electronic kit. I'm assuming Dob is drums. We've got Enek is maybe vocals. Guitar is probably guitar. Bass guitar is bass guitar. So I'm going to assume that Dob is drums. And like they sound okay. They just sound a little bit mechanical, which is not what I was expecting for something like this. Yeah, so not too sure what the go is there. So yeah, it's usually sort of just straight up, just head nodding, heavy metal. Like the Russian band Aria, it kind of feels a bit like that. But it's fun. Occasionally the double kicks come into it, but usually not so much. It's just rocking out heavy metal, and I enjoyed it very much. Ossian, with whatever the hell that album is. Would you believe this band is still going? I looked them up. They're still going. They're still kicking along. So yeah, good luck to them. Ossian. All right. So this was the stuff from Egg. I showed you the CDs, and then I showed you in the video that as I was buying the CDs, I looked on the wall, and there was that battery. And when there is one thing on the wall, it always pays to say, is there more things like that? The answer was yes, and I got to see some stuff that had supposedly gone to the local markets, not sold, and come back. So I should have gone to that market because other things sold. But I'll show that one first because of course I was going to pick it up. Bathory, the Return. Now the condition of these things, I have never picked up original presses or early presses of this quality in the wild. These are all near mint. The LPs are near mint, almost to mint. The sleeves are like excellent, like very, very, very good. Little bit of shelf wear on this Bathory, but that's it. That's about all you got. The Return, fantastic black metal, thrash metal, black thrash. Album I think is from '84. But this is the 87 release on Under One Flag. I'll pull that one out so you take a look at it. But it is just immaculate. The whole thing is immaculate. There's the inner sleeve. Look, you can go get the t-shirt. Got the address in Stockholm, Sweden to send your $10 money order to get the goat shirt, which would be absolutely amazing. There's the back of it there. It's just that, as I said, the quality of these things, as a certain Brendan Von Doom would say, minty fresh, and it just is. There's the Under One Flag. I don't know how well that's going to come across, but minty fresh, absolutely fantastic condition. I put it on. I gave them a very gentle dry wipe. I didn't even bother giving them a proper wet clean because, according to the shop seller, the guy this is from the same bulk purchase as the CDs, so he bought a whole collection, and the person must have listened to CDs and just had a handful of LPs, because they only sold the shop a handful of LPs, and apparently they were all of this quality. So who knows, maybe the guy just bought records one day and then went, nah, I'll just jump into CDs, and they sat in a box or on the shelf. I don't know. It's unlikely they were played more than once, if that. There is no crackle or pop. There is nothing. There is absolutely, they're just absolutely fantastic condition. So thrilled to have Bathory, the return. It's not the original press, but I'll take an 87 under one flag press any day of the week over anything modern. So there you go. Fantastic. The next one, very underrated band. This I've got a later album. I think it's called Earn the Mad. I think that's the one that I've got on CD, but I did not have this debut. This is Protector Golem. Fantastic. This is brutal thrash. I think it's 88, something along those lines. Yeah, 88 thrash. This is their debut album. It's basically death thrash. Occasionally it pulls back a little bit, but this is brutal thrash. It is so good. Growly, snarly vocals, not death metal growl vocals. They're snarly, raspy kind of, very Germanic vocals. But musically, this is not sounding like your Creators and that kind of thing. It is way more Bay Area. Actually, it's even more brutal than that. Like, I hear stuff in here that, like, Beneath the Remains, Sepultura, which even was like a year later than this. So, I hear that kind of stuff in here. It's more on that sound, I think. So, Protector Golem, again, condition is just flawless. We'll take a look at the back. There's the band. It's on Atom H. This is the first press. Came out in 88, I think. Take a look inside. Beautiful inner sleeve. Thrash collage. Gotta have a thrash collage. And take a quick look in here. Beautiful. Just absolutely immaculate again. There's the Atom H. Nothing wrong with these records at all. And again, I put it on there and the needle dropped and it was just silence. Between tracks is silence. It is... there is a better than 50% chance I'm the first person to ever play this. So I just do not believe that the previous owner played these. And if he did, it was once. Amazing. Protector Golem. But the album for me, the one that was just, okay, I need to go sit down. I need to stop my heart palpitations because this is amazing, was definitely this one. This was not on the wall. This was in the... I'll go out back and see if I have anything left. And he came back with original press, Carcass, Reek of Putrefaction. Oh, Carcass is my favourite band. Like, they have been for 25 years or so. To get the original press of Reek, which is not my favourite album, but to get the original press, god damn. I mean, look at this thing. It's got the old Earache Records logo that Jeff Walker drew. Like, he also drew the Carcass logo, but he did the original Earache logo. Platters of Splatter. This is on Mosh 6, which is hilariously written as Mush 6 because it's all mashy and splattery. This album. This is like one of the first two examples of gore grind ever. Just ferocious and ugly and underproduced. There we go. Look at that. Amazing. Perfect condition. Absolutely perfect condition. And it is as nasty and horrible as it always has been. And it's the kind of, like, the production on this was terrible. The band have said this is not what we wanted it to sound like. It all got screwed up. Like, they wanted it to sound like what Symphony sounds like. But here we are now, 2022. And it's just, it has become the sound of this album. Like, Reek of Putrefaction has to sound like this. It has to sound terrible for it to work, and it completely does. So I really enjoyed putting this on, and listening to the filth come out of the speakers. Nice insert. It's just amazing. I cannot over-emphasize how amazing condition these things are. So Carcass, Reek of Putrefaction. Those OGs, just so good. Anyway, that is this mini shopping video wrap up. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, check out that thing, check out that thing. I'll see you next time.